Good morning. Well, welcome to Cambridge and welcome to Rend Platings, who, as you said, is going on hunger strike over how long these visas for Ukrainian refugees are taking to be processed by the government. As you can see as well, we're standing outside her house, which she has painted in the Ukrainian colours. So, Rend, just tell me, you've been doing this now for 24 hours, over 24 hours. How are you feeling? What was the last thing that you ate?
The last thing I had was a Thai curry and some glasses of wine, and I think that probably wasn't such a good idea, but it wasn't advisable, but it was still what I did because it was nice. And then I went to bed, and that was it. So I enjoyed my last meal, but what has been happening is it hasn't been going too bad, because a lot of people have been sending messages of support, because it's clear that a lot of people feel the way I do and are quite glad that I'm doing the hunger strike and not them.
And how do you feel about this whole situation? You are sponsoring a lady to come over here. What are the frustrations that you have been facing with the delays here?
So my frustration is that I completed the application form on the 18th of March as soon as the scheme opened. My friend Christina is actually in Ukraine. I persuaded her to leave the city of Kiev, where she was living with her grandfather and her parents, who she's very close to. Her grandfather's 90 years old. Unfortunately, she couldn't persuade them to leave with her. So she's sitting in the country and she's just waiting for the visa. When the visa scheme was first announced, she said, it's so amazing that Britain's doing this. I feel, that I really want to come to Britain because it's so organised. I'm a bit embarrassed about that one, but it's so organised and they really want us, and, they'll be supporting us. And she was feeling really positive about it.
But less so now.
Yeah, since we haven't heard back, she's now thinking, should I go back to Kiev, which would be disastrous. I mean, the mayor of Kiev just said that it was still a dangerous city and you had to be out of it for quite some time.
And the government has now, as of yesterday, actually just started a refugee matching scheme. They have a charity, Reset Communities and Refugees, has received £300,000. Do you think this is enough? Do you think this has been done quick enough? Do you think this is the right thing?
Well, it's not really addressing the key problem. It's a typical deflection tactic, in my view, which is that even though this is obviously all of the support that we could have is great, and the British people have raised a lot more money than that. I mean, the British people have raised millions and have spent, millions of their own hard-earned cash on charities supporting displaced Ukrainian people. So the £300,000 is actually small change from the government compared to what the British people have been generously donating.
Thank you so much, Rend, for your time. Well, the government says that they are trying to speed the process up as quickly as possible, but for people here like Rend, who has gone on hunger strike over this issue, it's not quite fast enough.